By the way, my name is First aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reaction. We're getting to day 10 of the Diddy trial. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this case so far, whether you believe he's guilty or whatever the case may be. And also, what I need you to do is I need you to make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. All right, that's the most important thing. Share, share, because sharing is caring. All that stuff there. All right, so give me a second, people. Let me pull up the notes real quick. All right, so we're gonna just get straight into it. All right, so we're gonna have there's three there's four testimonies from four different people. Capricorn Clark, former Bad Boy stylist from 2007 2010. James Jimenez, Homeland. See, if it wasn't for power, I wouldn't know how to pronounce Jimenez. I promise you, I would have because of football. Anyway, basically, James Jimenez, Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent, Sergeant Brian McGonigal, LAPD officer, and Kerry Morgan, which is the friend of Cassie. All right, so let's keep it moving. All right, so when it comes to Capricorn Clark, she testified for about 2 hours describing Sean Combs' micromanagement and intimidation at Bad Boy. I hate micromanagement with a passion. Anyway, now let me know what your thoughts are on micromanagement. If you've ever experienced that in your life, it's like one of the most excruciating things you can ever go through. And knowing you have to. Anyway, let's keep moving. Intimidation at Bad Boy. She recounted a 2008 incident where Sean Combs slapped Cassie in New York studio after styling a disagreement, leaving her with a bruised cheek. All right. Capricorn said Sean demanded staff arrange hotel. Where is it? So where is it? Hotel room and escorts for free costs using Bad Boy resources threatened her job when she hesitated. She also noted Sean Combs' use of aliases like Frank Black for bookings. The defense via Agnifilo questioned Capricorn continued employment, suggesting she benefited from Sean Combs' success and argued the testimony was hearsay. Clark insisted she feared retaliation, including from Combs and security chief Anthony Bozzetti. Also, another thing to point out in regards to Capricorn Clark, she also used to work for Suge Knight as well. All right, that's another thing. She worked with Suge Knight with, the infamous record label. I don't want to say the name, but you know that record label. You know what I mean. So I do find it interesting why she would go on to work with Sean Combs. You know what I mean? Why are you working with the ops? That's my first thought. If I'm like, I don't want to say if I'm on the defense. No, I'm not on the defense side. Never will be. But what I'm trying to say is, in terms of that, anyway, look, what I'm gonna say is, they need to argue and ask, okay, if you knew these two were enemies, why are you working with the enemy? That should be the question. Why? Is he the only person that can give you employment? Is he the only one in the entertainment industry that can give you employment? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure he can make a good living working for someone else. That's a good argument to make. Just saying. Anyway, standout quotes. Diddy slapped Cassie in 2008 over a dress. I saw the bruise. He said, "Fix it or you're done." Damn. All right, so a link to the charge of blank trafficking, slap and bruise indicate coercion throughout violence, implying Cassie's compliance. RICO 2008 incident and staff arrangements show a pattern of abuse and enterprise logistics, transportation, hotel bookings suggest interstate travel. All right, so let's get into the next testimony, which is from James Jimenez, which is the The Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent analyzed evidence from the March 2024 Miami raid. So that's just the Miami raid, just to keep that in mind. Jimenez testified for about 90 minutes, presenting DNA evidence and items from Sean Combs' Star Island mansion. He confirmed no DNA was found in Kid Cudi's 2011 burned Porsche. It's Porsche, by the way, not Porsche. But Jimenez detailed 2 AR-15 lower receivers with defaced serial numbers, 25 bottles of baby oil, and 31 bottles of Astroglide, blank toys, and lingerie in a closet near Sean Combs' bedroom. He also noted that Gucci bag with residue of cocaine, ketamine, and MDMA, and Xanax, and a wooden box labeled pathway with crystal rock-like substance, suspected MDMA. The defense via Estavo argued that AR-15s were basically not working, and question whether baby oil was for free costs, suggesting personal use. So Jimenez maintained the item context suggested enterprise activity. So he more or less was going off the back of what one of his colleagues was saying. That makes sense. That's what I look like. All right, so the standing up quote from that is, "We found defaced AR-15 parts and 25 baby oil bottles in Diddy's." Hang on, give me a second. All right, we found defaced AR-15 parts and 25 baby oil bottles in Diddy's closet, plastic box, MDMA, linked to charges, RICO, defaced AR-15 narcotics and blank supplies, indicate enterprise for intimidation, blank costs, free costs. And then next one is the blank trafficking, firearms and blank toys suggest coercion via threat of violence, transportation, hotel-related items imply travel logistics. All right, so let's get to the next testimony. There's a lot here. There is a lot. So Sergeant Brian McGonnelly, I can't say this name. Sergeant Brian, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, he investigated the 2011 fire on Kid Cudi's Porsche. Sergeant Brian testified for about 45 minutes, detailing his response to the December 2011 fire in Kid Cudi's home. He observed a black Cadillac Escalade linked to Bad Boy Records security chief Anthony Bozzetti near the scene. Sergeant Brian noted fire was suspicious but found no DNA or direct evidence tying Sean Combs to the arson. But if you see the car there, someone else's car links to Bad Boy Entertainment, that's suspicious. And obviously you can't. It's like you can't really say, okay, yeah, Sean Combs, but it's like, okay, what was that car linked to Bad Boy from Anthony Bozzetti near the scene? What was that doing there? Why was that there? Is that not a fair question to ask? Why was that there? So even if Sean Combs didn't do it directly, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep moving. He referenced Kid Cudi's claim that Sean Combs threatened to blow up his car as per day 9 testimony. The defense via Gregos argued the Escalade sighting was circumstantial. I really want to say, really, Ninja? Really? All right, so circumstantial and no charges were filed. Well, of course not. Like, you're not gonna file charges if your car just got blown up and you know what I mean? You're literally gonna be scared. You don't know what to do, bro. You don't know what to do because it's like on one hand, like how do I even explain it? There's just too much to go through. But I get why he wouldn't he wouldn't I get why he wouldn't press charges. I get it. And then plus, the hip hop community would then not end up calling him a snitch like they did after he did the testimony. But he wasn't a snitch because he's a civilian. He's not a. A snitch is only a snitch, or to be labeled a snitch, if they partake in criminal activity with a group of others that are in doing a similar or whatever criminal activity, and then they snitch on them. That is snitching. That's snitching. So another example I can give is Daniel Hernandez. Yeah, you may know him as 6ix9ine or Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? Daniel Hernandez. The case in point. He snitched. He wanted to partake in, certain type of criminal activities, and you know what I mean. Then he snitched. And one more argue, yeah, well, he was in his right to snitch because they did this, they did that. But no, pay the price, pay the time. Pay the price of your consequences. Anyway, where was that? So, standard quote. He said, "I saw a bad boy escalate near Kid Cudi's burnt Porsche. Fire was suspicious." There you go. So, link to the charges: RICO, arson suspicion, and bad boy suggest a retaliation predicate, even though there was no DNA found. But that's linked directly to what's his name. Blank trafficking, the threats imply coercion to control Cassie's relationships. All right, so that is that one for that day. It's such a I'm just deep in how deep this trial really is. I'm just deep in it, and I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to put this as part 1, and then do part 2. You understand? I'm going to have to do that because when it comes to the editing process, it's going to be a long day downloading and then editing. You know what I mean? It's going to be long. And this way I'm able to now say, okay, well, the next live I'll do when doing this, I'm going to make sure that it's within a specific time frame. I want to do this as quick as possible because I felt like this part was super quick. Super, super quick. In fact, it was super quick. But anyway, stay tuned because I'm going to go live again in a